Hello and welcome back. On the last episode, we had a flashback of how Rinka met Naomi, and you infiltrated the sports festival. So it's simply as much as it was, but clearly something bad's about to happen, and we should probably get right into it. So with that, why it happened, how it happened, and the perpetrator behind it. Perpetrator. Her memories begin to catch up with her as she tells the boy. Why is there suddenly a perpetrator involved? The answer is simple. She recognizes the look in the boy's eyes. This isn't just about Rinka anymore. I'm as involved with him as she is. The worse her headache gets, the more she comes to realize that her dreams are in fact reality. Yeah, his eyes are different. They're more cat-like, I think. He makes his way to a less crowded area despite seeming to be in search of someone. It makes tailing him much more difficult, but Naomi refuses to back down. Eventually, he makes his way into a certain classroom. No one being used by any classes for the cultural festival. It's serving as a storage area for unused chairs and desks. Naomi is able to find an appropriate hiding spot thanks to that. However, her hopes of remaining hidden are quickly shattered. There's no need to keep hiding. She couldn't stifle her surprise at being called out. Her explanation may be silly, but she's aware that there's no time to be embarrassed over such a minor thing. While she's unsure of what to say, he opts to carry the conversation forward. I know that you're dear to number one. She died after protecting you from the blast on the train, after all. Those dreams are real then? A chill runs down her spine. Her rubby nerve fires a signal of fear upon confirmation that her dreams are reality. I bear no ill will towards you, but regardless, I need you to become a sacrifice. It's her duty to kill, her duty alone to kill me. What in the world are you talking about? She spared my life before, and as a result awakened my true self. I only know one way to live. That's why I need to be erased, no matter the cost. A light flashes throughout the room before Naomi can process what the boy means. A massive roar thunders alongside the light. He set off an explosion. Or it's just an arsonist, okay. The windows in the classroom crack under the atmospheric pressure of the blast, and Naomi is blown away without even a moment to scream. Once again, she has come face to face with a bomb. It is in this moment that she remembers her fate is inherently connected with the others. It hurts. I knew you were telling me all along, but it worked out in my favor. I planned on bringing you to this room in the first place. I planted a number of bombs at the desks here. All of this just to kill you. Why would you? Being in such close contact with the explosion has marred her entire body with third-degree burns, and worse. She's gotten pierced by several pieces of shrapnel that formed from the blast. The raw force of the blast has crushed her ribs. Her breathing is ragged, weak, and ready to fade at any moment. It's ironic how things work for us as participants. The explosion should have affected me just as badly, but all I get is this scratch on my cheek. The wind would also happen to blow in my favor, while the desk simply happened to shield me. As for you, try not to talk anymore. Fragments of objects caught under the blast are smouldering in every corner of the room. The cracked windows eventually give in and collapse, allowing a large supply of oxygen to flow in. In response, even the tiniest of flames spark up. Naomi can only lay there as the heat washes over her in waves. All this while her senses steadily fade. This should serve as more than enough for her to have her realize what's at stake. Why? You're still able to talk? I'm surprised you'd even bother in your condition. His rigid response is enough to douse the strongest of flames. I told you already, I need to be erased, no matter the cost. And if he dies, then Naomi comes back to life. But at the same time, I want to believe that there's meaning behind my death. I'm positive that her being wanted to do me in would supply such a meaning. She lacks the will right now, though. That's why I'm going to give it to her. Why? So persistent. You're about to die, but still. I'd rather not reveal too much. Don't worry, I'll make it quick. The boy approached and clasped his hand around Naomi's thin neck. She's going to die anyway, and he's going to suffocate her? He's going to strangle her? Not now a sudden hesitation or worry in his voice, and yet... Why do you look so sad? Even on the brink of death, she can notice the grief lurking behind the fierce look in his eyes. Shut up. He crushes her throat before breaking her neck. The sound of her bones break. It gets muted by the wood crackling in the flames. He notices footsteps outside the classroom. His eyes focus on the door. Naomi. Good timing. Even Rinka cries overwhelmed by the roaring fire. The fire alarm rings out through the PA system, warning both students and visitors about the situation at hand. It isn't necessary for me to understand what's going on, though. I'm bearing witness to the sea fire that caused it to go off. Inside the room are two figures cloaked within the flames. I can't process the situation immediately. Naomi? The smoke bellowed from the room and burns my throat as I struggle to speak. Naomi, no. I may have been better off not knowing what happened. Naomi. Her body is lifeless, like a puppet without a string. Without support. And her body is being held by a boy, you. He steps away from her and her body collapses to the floor. I dash towards her and attempt to catch her. I have no chance to reach her in time, though. Just as her body touches the floor, the flames swarm all around her uniform. I press on, though. No matter what, nothing will stop me from getting to her. Also, I think, before I know it, I've fallen on my behind. It was Yu's doing. He approached and knocked me out from without me noticing. Did you do this? I've been instructed to become a hero ever since I can remember. The entire concept of becoming a hero is a cheap way for others to make you do their bidding. I knew that, yet I did nothing. It was all I knew. I had no parents, no friends, and certainly no allies. The only thing my past self had were missions to accomplish. Everything about my life was meaningless. I simply carried out every mission assigned to me in order to live on. I don't care. I want... what have you done to Naomi? Your death was one such consequence. The only difference that time around was that I died along with you. I was meant to go out like a hero. The very image of a hero I recognized as worthless. Something in me changed, though. I need to call an ambulance. Hang in there, Naomi. I learned what it meant to lead a worthless life. But now that my memories have returned, I have no right to decide such a thing. In its place, the very least I can wish for is the meaningful death. To go out as a person, not a hero. I'm no hero, nor am I someone's puppet. I'm a human being like everyone else. Kill me, settle the score with your own fate. Shut the hell up. Nothing he is saying is registering. Naomi is the only thing that I'm concerned with. Not even the flames can distract me from that. Beating back the heat, I rise to my feet. I reach my hand through the smoke out towards her. Fine, do what you want. We can't die from this anyway. Let me make one thing clear, though. Give her back. I have no intention of letting myself get killed so simply. Give Naomi back. You is no longer in my line of sight. I don't care about that, though. There's only one thing in my mind. One thing I can understand at the moment I make contact with her lifeless body. It's too late to save her. Good evening, young lady. Hello, strange man. A harrowing experience befell you, I see. Alas, such is fate. Stop. Amidst those flames, you finally remembered the events that transpired, yes? You can no longer avert your eyes from the truth. I don't want to know. Perhaps I'm best off keeping this brief. In that case, let's proceed. It's time for you to face your own fate. I noticed the bomb inside the bag. The specifics are beyond me, but it comprised of a tube and a bag. The events are coming back to me in slow motion. Sparks fly from it, causing a liquid inside the bag to spark. The explosion follows, swallowing the train in flames. I remember exactly who was responsible. I'm going to become a hero. This is before I had my card book, so I shouldn't have understood what he was saying. But I understand now, though I'm not sure why. The explosion sent him flying first. The salary man beside him followed almost instantly. The train was full due to everyone making their way home from work, so this was likely the ideal time to cause the most damage. The smell of burnt fat ran through the train. Naomi. My first instinct was to shield Naomi. I felt a tremendous impact on my back, which sent me both and Naomi flying. The train had stopped by this point, but panic spread through those not taken out by the blast. Meanwhile, my body was devastated. I couldn't tell what state I was in. All I knew is that I wouldn't make it. As such, the only thing on my mind was Naomi. If I was going to make it, then I'd do all I could. If I wasn't going to make it, then I'd do all I could to make sure Naomi did. She hit her head after the blast, however, rendering her unconscious. I couldn't say for sure whether or not this was mere coincidence. The boy responsible for this landed right in front of me after the blast. The flames continued to consume both of our bodies. Now I'll finally be a hero. Don't kid yourself. I'm not sure if we actually exchanged those words then, but it may just be something I made up as a coping mechanism. You won't become a hero. You're not even human. You're just a puppet. The boy used his remaining strength to extend his hand to my throat, and he crushed it. At that moment, the flames lit up again, pulling him out of the train. Rinka! Rinka! Naomi's screams called out to me while I was on the brink of death. As the fierce flames in the train grew fiercer, the fire in my soul flickered and faded. Those were the memories I had forgotten, the truth locked away within my subconscious. It's no wonder my cause of death never materialized when I thought I simply got caught in the fire. The fire wasn't what killed me. It was suffocation after my throat had been crushed. I heard the sound of rain outside when I woke up. As I woke up, looking out the window, I noticed how dark it is, despite this time. Small droplets of rain poured endlessly in the sky. At the beginning of the very rainy season. Leith, who dislikes the rain, is curled up in the corner of the room. I struggle to remember exactly what happened between now and yesterday. Apparently, Mihara rescued me from the flames after I fell unconscious. How I got home is a mystery, but it looks like I didn't bother to change or even crawl into bed. I woke up and I was on the floor. Yesterday's events were no dream either. Checking my phone, it made the news, though without much prominent coverage. It doesn't seem like it's being reported as a terrorist attack. I'm not sure why. Possibly because they haven't finished their inspection yet. How they're reporting it isn't of any interest to me, though. I already know the most important consequence of it. The fire was put out before I could cause any serious damage. I made my way to the end, out with some only minor burns, but there was one casualty in the end. One person incredibly dear to me, Naomi. Out of all the people there, only one lost their life. And out of all people there, it had to be Naomi. The more I repeat that to myself, the more I had to try and pretend it never happened. Why her? What did she do to deserve it? That's all I can think. It's my fault. Naomi died because of me. Because I got her involved. I'm to blame. I'm to blame for her death. This wouldn't have happened if I pushed her away. This wouldn't have happened if I had never asked her to shoulder the burden with me. If I weren't too weak then, none of that is relevant anymore though. They're nothing but what-ifs. What I'm facing right now is reality. What I'm facing right now is my own fate. My body gradually loses strength. Today, I put out the sign regarding the lighthouse indefinite closure. At first since the day it opened. Good evening, my lovely little slaves to fate. Just hearing Parker's voice annoys me. Having been forcibly brought to the court of fate, all I can do is stare at my own feet. My mind is elsewhere. Something doesn't seem right. Your face ain't right. I think that's it. Don't shrug me off. You're in quite a high spirits, aren't you? Will you be surprising me tonight, perhaps? He's bluffing. Hello, number 9. First time we've seen you. Oh boy, gotta need you two to quit acting like you own the joint. Mind letting me in on the fun now? Huh? Old number 12 over there's right though. In my line of work, you can tell when people are fibbing. So you're a detective of sorts then. Sorry bud, gotta keep a few secrets around these parts. Would hate to make things harder on myself. Christ, what is it that what was it with you all running in your mouths? Let's just get this started. I'm getting bored of how dumb you all sound. Quite the mouth, mademoiselle. Could I say merci beaucoup? Or will a plain old thanking do the trick? Whatever you prefer. Talk about shrewd, not bad. Shut up. Just shut up already. I don't give a crap about any of this. Are you? Not even my hero's voice can even make me care. Nothing she says reaches me. As much as I enjoy the banter, I'd rather not have this drag on all night. Let us begin, shall we? Allow me to begin tonight's election. Revolve the oak clock of fate. The clock begins its usual procedure confirming each participant's intention for the night. I ignore it completely. Goodness gracious. The clock finishes its revelation. 6 elections in, and we finally had a night with 0 eliminations. Should I take this as a sign that you're all faring well? Maybe so. Tonight's election result is no eliminations. I bet. So we could have just went through this whole thing and not eliminated anyone. Divine selection continues regardless of my emotional state. I'm dragged back to reality from the dream world in spite of my desire to never wake up. We could have just continued like living for like forever if we just no one voted for each other. That's quite literally the most. I don't know what correct word is, but like it's. I don't want to say dumb, but very, very, very. Well, it's Monday apparently. It looks like it's raining. School, who cares? Not like I have to go. I've got a day off. As if I care about that. I see Naomi's smile in my mind's eye. Memories of the coffee we made together. Yeah. Memories of the coffee we made together here. Come back to me. As does the sweet taste of the cookies she would bring. I ruined all that. Smothering myself in the blanket is my way of escaping reality. I hear someone ringing the door buzzer, but I ignore it. Same goes to my phone. Any movement at all requires more effort than I would want to give. I don't care about anything anymore. Divine selection might as well be over for me. I'll just wait until someone eliminates me, whether it be this week or next. Miara won't do it even if I ask her though. But maybe Alan would. Ready? A familiar voice raises from above the sound of pouring rain. They must be shouting pretty loud for me to hear them up here. But I don't care. I close my heart off once more. You can't just shut yourself in. You gotta say a proper goodbye to her. Thanks to Mao, at least. I'm happy that Mao was... Oh, I was gonna say still kicking, but that's rude. But still trying to cheer us up. Though I'm surprised Mao hasn't just broken the door and just walked in herself. I somehow drag myself over the open window, a choice that keeps me from attaining true scum status. After that, I managed to force myself to the town ceremonial hall. Not quite sure how to approach Naomi's family, but I do manage at least to give my condolences. Now that I'm here, I realize that the part of me that can act somewhat naturally, despite everything. What? Oh, I don't know. It's probable that I wouldn't have even bothered to attend Naomi's funeral if it wasn't for Mao. This is a place to say our farewells. Tears are shed by many, myself included. It's not an experience. I almost feel like there's two sides of me. One side is distraught, and the other one feels nothing at all. The sobs that fill the venue are drowned out by the sound of rain falling. A lot of Mech students are here, Naomi's classmates, I'd wager. The role she took for the Culture Festival must have played a big part, since she enrolled me 2 months ago. In that time, she touched everyone with her sincerity, and yet, the very same Culture Festival is where she lost her life. I'm not sure if I can have anything to cry. What? I'm not sure if I have the right to cry. She never would have died if I'd not gotten involved with it. You didn't choose that, to be fair. You would maybe if you didn't save Naomi. Either way. But you didn't have a choice. But if you get rid of, you, his actions become undone. And because his actions become undone, she gets to come back to life. She never would have died, and I had not brought her to the Linehouse to help her for the Culture Festival. She would never have died if I'd not spoken to her that day at the library. She wouldn't have died. She wouldn't have died. She wouldn't have died. I should have been the one to die. You did die, remember? I'll never be able to get over this regret. I have no way to vent my despair. Sad doesn't begin to describe the situation. Not when someone like her dies so young. There's no doubt that everyone here wishes this were all a bad dream. I'm sure none of us come to terms with reality that Naomi is no longer part of our lives. Even I had accepted that despite being a witness to the event itself. Why did things turn out this way? This is all due to fate. There's nothing there's nothing I can despise more. Naomi. Before I realized it, my two disparate sides merged back into one. I'm unable to hold myself back any longer. I weep openly in public. Now, Raiden, you're the only one who's you're not the only one who's sad, Rinny. None of us can believe he's gone. Naomi. Don't cry. Naomi's funeral ends in the blink of an eye. Lacking the will to eat, I drive back into bed when I get home. I'm not sure when I fell asleep or what time I woke up. A distinct emptiness assaults me as soon as I do when I wake. A distinct emptiness assaults me as soon as I do wake up, though. I've dreamt of all the times I spent with Naomi. None of that means anything now. Just past events. In this moment, I truly understand how it feels to have regrets that are lodged in the past. Things have moved along at the school. They finally got out to carrying the investigations under the assumption that it was a terrorist attack. As such, it'll be closed for another week. That's perfect for me, considering it takes all my energy to get out of bed. Under normal circumstances, I would have relied on my gran here. But it just so happens that the person she's taking care of collapsed on Saturday night. She's busy helping them. I need to deal with this on my own. Another day passes by. Another day of me doing absolutely nothing. Mishima Miharu's course of action in the face of recent events is a stark contrast to that of Shishimai Rinka's. The despair displayed on Rinka's part has only served to fuel Miharu's determination. She may have found Naomi unpleasant, but at no point did she wish for things to play out as they did. I'll do everything I can for her. While the high school portion of Amecha may be closed, the middle school and university campuses are operating like normal. This allows Miharu to make use of the library. Right now her priority is to put everything into perspective. In this regard, numero 4 is the utmost priority. Miharu is aware of his real name, Yu. She overheard Rinka muttering it to herself before. She is also aware that he is the one responsible for Naomi's death, having planted the bomb in the classroom. Whether or not, for whatever reason, he seems desperate to Rinka to kill him too. I'm honestly not too sure about what's going on. I mean, I have been close with her, but Naomi's death is taking a toll on me as well. Today is the first day she truly begins to take the divine selection seriously. Excuse me? You mean all the things she's been doing so far has not been serious? As much as it pains me to admit, I'm incapable of bringing Rinka's smile back on my own. Miharu has no grasp on whatsoever on Yu's background. Even so, she makes the decision to perform as much research as possible. Her claims that she would give her life for Rinka is no lie. She has no intention of it becoming a lie. If she has ever been sure about anything in her life, it is that. Should her actions fail to protect Rinka's smile, there's no point in taking them. I suppose I have to thank you for allowing me to realize something important, Naomi. Miharu has very few cards pertaining to the participants of other than Rinka in her possession. While she may possess a keen intellect, she is mere but a high school student. Without a reliable source, she can only do is rely on newspapers, books, and the internet. Numeral 4, name Yu. Numeral 9, regret. This is the man who spoke for the first time during the 6th election. Numeral 12, Alan. Finally, numeral 12, cause of death. This is all the information she has pertaining to the other participants, other than Rinka herself. While she does not have any idea regarding numeral 11's regret, she has been unable to obtain cards out of it thus far. Of the remaining participants, Alan seems the ideal target, considering he's already eliminated 3 others. The only issue is that his regret remains a mystery to her, plus the fact that she is yet to meet him face to face. That said, researching him is easier than the others, comparatively, due to his celebrity status. He's been featured in several magazine interviews and TV shows. Apparently he's from the area in southern India, where English is the primary language. In that case, all she has to do is look up and translate any words or phrases she doesn't understand. I'm curious about you, but there's too many unknown factors surrounding him right now. Having found her priorities, Miharu begins her research. Determined as she may be, she cannot afford to lose sight of the bigger picture. And thus Miharu begins quest for information. On her way to campus, Miharu notices the silhouette of an unfamiliar man. She errs on the side of caution and takes a different route in order to keep her distance from him. Hey there, how you doing? He opts to call her out anyway. Miharu doesn't respond, and instead she allows him to approach while staying on guard. She does so. As she does so, she finally recognizes him. It's numeral 9. Well, you sure don't look scared, or maybe you're just trying to impress me with a stoic act. I'll leave it to your imagination as far as I'm aware. You shouldn't be able to find me by using my name. Ebenata Miharu doesn't exist, technically. You may think you may be able to link the name to Mishima Miharu when looking through Amecha's records, but that's no simple task. In that case, you may have been waiting for Rinka. It's possible he received her name due to the initial distribution. Miharu quickly realizes this is not the case, though. It was numeral A to receive that card, and she had already been eliminated. She was eliminated by Alan, and so numeral 9 being in possession of the card would make it little sense. That leads me to another conclusion. You wouldn't happen to have my regret card, would you? Sharp, are you? Though it probably works against you more than you'd like. Gotta admit, your regret took me by surprise, but thanks to that, I managed to find this place. Although it seems like you've parted ways with that Rinket girl. I could tell you two were acquainted back when this Divine Selection first kicked off. That's why I made sure to look up the students here. I didn't find anyone named Tabata but I did find Amy Hero. Making the link while knowing what you look like is pretty easy. Either way, I think with that, I'll have to call it there. Where we finally meet Participant 9. Obviously I can't ask you if you enjoyed, considering it was a funeral. But if you're interested in the next part, well, I hope you stick around, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.